This incident happened last summer. My father was going away for some work, so we decided to spend our summer vacations at our aunt's house. She lived about 5 hours drive away. I was excited. My aunt had two daughters who were my best friends. We reached at my aunt's house and thereafter ate our dinner and then went to our rooms to sleep. All four of us were sharing the same room. My elder cousin started telling us a horror story about a cursed woman who lived in a well. Truly, I was scared to my core. Then she asked us to come with her to the well so that she can prove that her story is true. We refused, but she insisted again and again. We ended up agreeing with her. We all grabbed our mobile phones and sneaked out. There was complete silence around us. Only our own footsteps could be heard. There was not a single light source around us, mere darkness engulfing everything. Suddenly, we heard some noises. It sounded like somebody's cry. We got very scared. Let's just go back, I said. But my cousin refused. After walking 30 minutes, we reached the well. It was right in front of us. The place had some kind of weird silence, like it was noisy but at the same time peaceful. Let's go near, my cousin said. My eldest cousin was in front and three of us were in back. We gathered our courage and looked inside. What we saw next was beyond horrifying. There was a lady inside the well. Her eyes were whole black. Her lips were stitched together. I was horrified. Without wasting any other second, I started running away. I looked back and saw my cousin and sister running behind me. We started hearing crying sound again, but we kept running and finally reached our house. That's when we noticed that my younger cousin was missing. We were so scared that we didn't even notice that she was missing. We didn't have the courage to go back and search for her, so we had no other option but to tell our mothers. We went in and told them everything. They called the police and reported my cousin missing. Police came. My mother and aunt went out with police to look for my cousin. After some time, my mom and aunt came back. They told us that they found my cousin about 20 kilometers away from that well in unconscious state. I was shocked how she reached there, why she went there, with who she went there. I had many questions in my mind. When she gained her consciousness back, we asked her how she reached that far. She told us she remembered nothing. She only remembered seeing some orange light before fainting. Police searched the whole area, but neither found the woman nor the lights.
This happened when I was 14. It was late at night. Me and my two friends, along with my cousin, were at my house. We were watching movies. My parents were out of town. Let's go outside and play hide and seek, my friend John suggested. I thought it would be a good idea. as my house was located nearby woods and there were plenty of good spots to hide in woods. My friend Sam was taking first turn as seeker and three of us scattered in different directions to hide. I hid behind a large tree. When I was hiding, I saw someone behind a tree nearby. I thought it must be my friend. As I was waiting for Sam to find me, I took out my phone and started scrolling through my social media. That's when a message popped on my screen. Wanna play? I thought it was my friend John and was trying to pull a prank on me. No, I don't, I playfully answered. Suddenly, I felt somebody's presence behind me. I thought it must be my friend John or my cousin. But to my horror, I saw someone unexpected. It was a clown. He was smiling widely. His teeth seemed to be very sharp, sharp as knife. He was staring at me with wide eyes. I was horrified and started running away from him. I quickly unlocked my house door and went in. John and my other friend Sam were already there. They told me that they also experienced the same thing. They also saw the same clown and also received the same message. And they both also replied with no. But my cousin was still missing. We called him multiple times, but he was not picking our calls. Suddenly, somebody knocked on our door. John peeked through the peephole, and fortunately, it was my cousin. I was relieved, but at the same time worried. His hands were scratched. He was bleeding badly. He told us that he also received the same message. But unlike us, he replied with yes, let's play. After replying, he saw somebody's shadow at a distance. He thought that it was one of us and followed it. But then, shadow disappeared. And then, out of nowhere, somebody grabbed him and started dragging him. He was somehow able to see his face. It was clown. With all his might, he pushed the clown, and then my cousin ran away and came back home. As he was telling us the whole scenario, somebody knocked on our door. We were scared to our core. John peeked through the peephole, and to our horror, it was the same clown. We were scared. I told my cousin to call 911. We started hearing some loud banging. He was trying to break the door and he was mumbling something. I wanna play, play with me, give him to me, he wants to play with me. We all ran upstairs and locked ourselves in a room, but we were still able to hear his mumbling. After some time, everything went silent. Neither the clown nor the loud banging noise could be heard. We were a bit relieved. Then we heard police sirens. Police was there. We all ran out. As we reached down, we noticed my cousin was missing. When we were running downstairs, I saw him with my own eyes. But when we came out, he was nowhere to be found. Police entered the house and searched all over, but neither clown nor my cousin ever found.
One day, after school, when I was going back home, I heard someone sobbing. It was coming from a classroom. I opened the door and saw Zello sobbing in a corner and mumbling something. I walked towards her to comfort her. She was a quiet girl and usually talked very less. Her neck was full of scratches. I asked her who did this to her, but she didn't answer me. I helped her and walked her back home as she lived nearby my house. After that day, we started talking a bit. On day of my 16th birthday, I invited all my school friends, including Zelo. After party, when I was opening my birthday presents, one gift caught my eye. It was Zello's gift. It was a beautiful pendant. It was very unique. I really liked it. But my mom asked me to return it as it was looking very expensive. I also thought the same and decided to return it politely the next day. Next morning, when I came to school, I found her nowhere. So I decided to return it on Monday as it was Friday and we had 2 days off. The same night, suddenly, I woke up. I was sweating a lot. I froze in my place. I saw silhouette of a person. I screamed. My parents came into my room. I told them everything. My father went out to search but found nobody. I slept again, thinking I must be dreaming. I woke up the next morning and the whole day went by normally. I almost forgot about last night's incident. In the night, when I was about to sleep, my eyes landed on Zello's necklace again. It was very unique and beautiful. After some time, I went to sleep. In middle of night, suddenly I woke up. I was feeling hot like previous night. I felt scared again. I looked around to see if anyone was there around me like previous night, but there was no one. I was relieved and lied back down to sleep. But then, out of nowhere, I felt somebody's presence. I immediately opened my eyes, and what I saw in front of me shook me to my core. An old woman was standing right next to my bed. Her hairs were whole white. She was smiling widely at me. Suddenly, she grabbed my hand and started dragging me with her. I was struggling to free myself, but then suddenly I woke up. I looked around, but there was no one. I was relieved. I stood up to go downstairs and drink some water to calm myself. But then I noticed pendant I was wearing was glowing. It was emitting bright light. I became scared again. I quickly turned on the light and took off the pendant. The pendant was so hot and it almost burnt my skin. I thought, and this all started when Zello gave me that necklace. I decided to return her necklace the very next day. It was Sunday, but I wanted to return it as soon as possible. So the next morning, I went to her house. I knocked on her door multiple times, but nobody came. Then I noticed that the door was already unlocked. I wanted to return the necklace today only, so I decided to go in and leave the necklace on table and take my leave. As I was about to leave, my eyes fell on the wall. There was a picture of an old lady with Zello. This was the same lady as I saw yesterday night. So many questions flooded my mind. Who is she? And how Zello is related to her? But then I heard Zello talking. As I took the courage and slowly opened the door and saw Zello, she was talking to herself only. I was horrified. I ran out of the house. After that day, I never saw that old lady again. And as for Zello, she stopped coming to school. I never saw her again after that. And my bruises healed, but they left scars. It's been 2 years, but to this day, I still wonder who was that old lady and why Zello gave me that necklace, what she wanted from me.
My name is Lily and I am an architect. I recently joined my new job. My boss was a nice person. One morning, my boss texted me an address and asked me to reach there as he wanted to discuss our new project. That place was about 30 minutes drive away from my house. But I left my house early because I had some work on my way. My work finished earlier than expected. I had nothing else to do, so I decided to reach the site earlier and wait for my boss to come. I reached about 1 hour early. I parked my car at some distance as road was not good to drive on. I walked to that building. It was an old building. Many windows and doors were broken. I walked inside and started looking around. As I was walking, I came across a room. Door of this room was more maintained in comparison to other rooms. I opened the door and went in. Suddenly, I stumbled on something and fell down. I looked around to see on what I stumbled upon. It was a big knife. But what shook me the most, it had fresh blood on it. I was horrified. As I was about to stand up, I saw something even more shocking. There were about 5-6 glass jars, which were filled with some red substance. As I looked closely, it was human flesh. My heart sank. I hurriedly texted my boss the whole situation while running towards the exit. As I was about to walk out, I saw two men coming towards the building. I quickly hid behind a wall. As I peeked through a window, I saw my boss also coming behind them. I felt relieved. I thought maybe those men came with my boss. As I was about to come out, I heard three of them talking. When that girl arrived, take her to that room and then we will follow the same procedure, they said. Then they started laughing. I was shocked. Is my boss the one who is killing people? Lots of questions were going through my mind. I heard footsteps walking away from me. I peeked out and saw nobody near the exit. So I decided to run as fast as I can to my car. But as I was about to run, I heard my boss. She is here, find her. That's when something clicked in my mind. The message I sent him, he must have read it. I heard rushing footsteps. I took deep breath and started running. Look, she is there. Catch her. I heard somebody, but I kept running without looking back. I quickly unlocked my car and locked it from inside. I saw my boss at my car's window. He was saying something, but I wasn't able to hear anything. I quickly started my car and started driving away. As I looked through the mirror, nobody was following me. I was relieved. I quickly reached my house and locked all doors and windows. I was shivering in fear. I called 911 and told them everything. Police found several human bodies in that building. Police arrested my boss and he confessed to all his crimes. They found after investigation that my boss and other two men, they used to kill people just for fun. But even more sickening thing was that after killing victims, they used to separate flesh and store them in containers. And I was their next victim.
This happened few years back when I was 12 years old. It was a summer evening. As usual, I was home alone watching TV. As it was summer break, I had nothing much to do. And as for my mom, she used to work almost every day, so I was all alone most of the times. It was just like any other ordinary day. I was happily watching my favorite cartoon show, sitting on my couch in living room. Suddenly, somebody knocked on my door. I got pretty annoyed as it interrupted me, but got up to open the door. It was a woman. Her hairs were covering almost half of her face, and most weird thing was she was wearing a wedding dress. Hello, how can I help you? I asked. She was silent. After about good 2 minutes of awkward silence, is your mom home? She asked. I didn't thought much about it as I was in hurry to continue my show. No, not yet, I said. Suddenly, she started walking away without uttering any other word. Weird, I thought to myself. I locked the door and went back to my couch and continued my show. After about a minute or so, somebody knocked on door again. I was so annoyed as I was getting interrupted again and again. As I opened the door, it was the same lady as before. My mom is not home, I told you, I said, annoyed. As I looked toward her face, she was staring directly at me. This time her eyes were more visible than before. They were bloodshot red, as if she was shedding tears of blood. I got scared. Suddenly, marry me, she said, with a creepy grin plastered on her face. I was confused, precisely horrified. With the speed of light, I slammed the door shut and locked it. I was frozen with fear. Couldn't able to think much. I called my mother and told her everything. She told me to lock all the windows and that she will call cops. As I ended the call, I heard something breaking. I looked around and noticed the same woman breaking one of the window. My stomach dropped. I sprinted towards the nearest washroom and locked myself. Fortunately, she didn't saw me. I could hear her footsteps wandering around in my house. After about 5 minutes passed, her footsteps were no longer be heard. That's when I heard police siren outside. I slowly opened the washroom's door and looked around. She was nowhere to be seen. I took the opportunity and sprinted out. I told police everything. 3 policemen entered my house and one stayed behind with me. Police searched whole house and the neighborhood area, but no clue of that lady ever found. She just vanished. It's been 10 years, but to this day, whenever I see any woman in wedding dress, it haunts me to my core.
This happened when I just moved in a new apartment. It was the day of my moving. I saw a little boy. He was looking towards me. I smiled at him as a greeting gesture and went up to my apartment. Same night, when I was studying, I saw the same boy at the same exact spot. This time, a lady was also accompanying him. They both were staring towards me. After that night, the same mother son duo started appearing every night at the same spot. They had a time. They appeared around 12 a.m. at night and disappeared in an hour or so. I thought it was unusual and moreover uncomfortable. So I decided to talk to them if they have any issue or something. One night, when mother and son appeared, I went downstairs to have a word with them. Hello, I'm new here. I live on third floor, I said. They were still looking at my apartment. They didn't spare me a single glance. Then the lady looked at me for good 2 minutes and then answered, okay. I couldn't gather up any more courage to ask her anything else and turned around to go back. I went upstairs to my apartment. Both mother and son were no longer there. Suddenly, somebody knocked on my door. I felt little anxious. Who it could be in this late hour at night? I opened the door. It was my neighbor. He was acting little weird. Can we talk? He asked. Sure, come in. Who you were talking to? Back in the ground. I was confused. Why he asking me this? Before I could say anything, he spoke again. Did you saw any woman with a little boy? Were you talking to them? He asked. Yeah, I was talking to them. Actually, I see them every night at the same spot. Do you know them? They used to live in the same apartment as yours until last year. They were a happy family of three until one night when husband murdered her wife and their little boy while they were asleep.
My name is Paul. I had a great family. My mother, father, and two younger sisters. Last year, an incident happened which changed my life upside down. One evening, when I was at work, I received a phone call from my sister Joy. She told me about my father, that he was in an accident and passed away. We all were left heartbroken. We tried our best to deal with this loss. But my mother, she was not taking it well. She started becoming distant from us. She started spending more and more time in her room alone. I tried to talk with her, but it was of no use. I started looking after my sisters as my mother was not in condition to do so. One night, after finishing my work, when I was going back to my room, I heard some weird chanting noises. As I followed the sound, it was coming from my mother's room. I knocked on her door. Mom, is everything fine? I asked. Suddenly, chanting stopped. Everything is fine, just go to sleep, she yelled from behind the door. I brushed it off, thinking she must be watching TV or something. Few days passed. That evening, I was going out of town for some work. I told my mother the same. I didn't know why, but I was feeling very anxious about leaving my sisters alone as my mother was not being herself lately. But I tried my best to brush off those feelings. Halfway through my journey, I noticed my project file was missing. I thought I must have forgotten it back home. I called my sister so that she can find the file before I arrive, as I was already getting late. But to my surprise, she didn't answer. It was very unusual of her, as generally she responded to my calls very quickly. I hurriedly turned around my car to go back. After 30 minutes of drive, I reached my house. As I was about to enter the house, I noticed main door was not locked. I started hearing same chanting noise which I heard few days back. I was getting more and more anxious. I called my sister's name multiple times but received no answer. I followed the chanting sound. It was coming from my mother's room again. I knocked on her door and tried to open it, but it was locked from inside. I knocked again and again, but she didn't open the door. Bad thoughts were clouding my mind. In hurry, I called 911 and went to find extra keys. I found the keys. At this point, I was able to hear police siren, so without thinking much, I opened the door and went in. But the next thing I saw was beyond horrifying. My sister Joy was lying down on floor, unconscious. Around her there was some weird circle. My mother and other two were chanting some mantras. Mom, what are you doing? I yelled. They instantly opened their eyes. Shh, he is here, my mother said. I was confused. Who? Who is here? I yelled back. Your father, she answered. Chills ran down my spine. Police also came in. Ambulance took Joy to hospital and police started questioning my mother and other two about my sister Annie as she was still missing, but all three of them refused to answer. Finally, after about 1 hour of search, they found Annie locked in basement of our house, unconscious. Ambulance took her to the hospital. Thankfully, both of my sisters were fine. Police found out that my mother was the one who drugged my sister so that she can sacrifice my sisters and bring my father back. I was shocked. How can my mother even think of doing this?